My name is Deborah Ahimfa Oseajiku, and I run a publishing business called African Bureau Stories. We're a publishing house that's committed to producing some of the very best children's books written by African writers, illustrated by African illustrators, telling stories that children all over the world can love and enjoy. Before I connected with Kim, I was feeling very stuck and I wasn't even clear what my problem was. It's almost like going to the hospital just feeling like general malaise, just very sick and not really knowing what was wrong. So I think, yeah, that's what caused me to seek out Kim and the Dan Plan coaching. And then also, I was looking for a way to be in better control of my numbers. And Kim talks a lot about doing business by the numbers and creating a business that you love. And that at the time that I reached out to her, that almost seemed almost like a lofty, very lofty idea, like who loves their business, right? But I felt it was aspirational and part of why I wanted to reach out. I had watched a number of her YouTube videos, especially those on financials, and I found them really helpful. I found them very clear, and I really liked her approachable style. It just felt like Kim has so much experience, she has a perspective, and she has a program that can really help to almost set you on your feet and set you on the path that you need to be on, which is exactly what my experience has been. I think the thing I'm probably going to take away and I'm going to remember for a long time, just because it was as empowering as it was diagnostic, was that Kim one day in the session, she's just like, you know what, Debbie, you have everything it takes to be a great businesswoman. You just need to develop your muscle of being consistent. And I thought, wait, what? You put those two things together? Like you just told me the thing that I want better than anything else in the world is possible. And all I have to do is be consistent. And at the time, I was like, but I'm one of the most consistent people I know because I've been doing the same thing for so long. So what do you mean by I'm not consistent? And you mean that's all it's gonna take for me to do? That's all? Really? Okay, then I'm gonna be clean consistent. Like, tell me, what does that look like? And that was a game changer for me. The reason I would recommend it to any friend would be one that I feel like Kim is very approachable. I feel like she comes to coaching without judgment. She allows you to own where you are, but she also holds you accountable because one of the core pillars of the damn plan is no excuses. So I really appreciated that, knowing that Kim was going to give me space to be where I was and she would encourage me, but I also knew that there was an expectation of, the commitments we're making through this program. We stick to it. So that, I feel like that balance was very helpful. I think also she's been there, either through the program that she's running herself or through either through her own business or through other people that she's helped. So I feel like empathy is important in business. Perspective is very important in business. I found all of her advice so sound, and I just found that because of her experience, she was able to see so many things that I couldn't recognize. So I would absolutely recommend it. At the time that we met, I was just focused more on challenges than on my opportunities. And we set goals around my opportunities. And I challenged myself with Kim's support, and I exceeded my expectation in a lot of those goals. And so that was a major win. I think, again, back to the concept and the principle of consistency, that's something that's gonna stay with me for my whole life. And then just like Kim's confidence that she's like, Debbie, you can do it. You can be an amazing businesswoman, which is all I like. That's all I want. That's all I want for my professional life. So to just have that assurance from someone that I respect, someone who knows her stuff, it just breathes so much life into me. So I would like people to know that the Down Plan coaching is a deliberate process and it has a plan, right? I like programs that have deliberate, like almost like deliberate formulas, right? If you have like 2 points, right? This point and this point. there's so many ways to get to between this point and this point. And if someone is going to kind of guide you through a tried and trusted path, from this point to this point, it makes sense to give yourself to that process. So I think what I would say is that I think the formula that Kim has in the Dan Plan coaching program is tried and tested. And if you do follow it, you will get the results that you want. So I would just encourage people to have confidence in it, to give it a try. Kim is a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant coach. I would just say, yeah, give it a try and give it your all.